Coming up at the top of the hour, we're sending you live to Paris. Our Jenny Taft and the crew are going to get you all ready for a full day of Women's World Cup action. That's up next, and you're on FS1. Back to the NBA Finals, Kawhi Leonard has dominated, averaging about 31 points and 10 boards per game. He is now one win away from his second title. Kawhi is considered to be one of the best players in the world by many, just not Skip Bayless. But that wasn't always his career trajectory. Danny Green has been Kawhi's teammate for 8 seasons in Toronto, but first in San Antonio. Green says when the Claw first came in the league, he was, quote, a science experiment. Green added early in his career when he first started coming into his own, there was a lot of, where the F did this come from? Coming into the league, he was a defensive guy, and he became a one-on-one offensive guy who could shoot the ball from 3. When he started emerging, I think teams were like, wow. So, Skip, you are a lifelong Spurs fan. Mm-hmm. Is this how you saw it unfold?
I wouldn't go lifelong, but since the 80s. But anyway, yeah. Shannon Sharpe.
Skip, is this how you saw it?
I am so happy that Danny Green said exactly what I have been trying to tell people for weeks on this show. Yes, the Spurs took him much higher than anyone else would have. They took him 15th overall because he was seen at San Diego State as little more than a defensive specialist who could not shoot. So his rookie year, the Spurs paired him up with, who have I told you about, their shot doctor, Chip England, their assistant. What? What are you saying?
That's quote. That's what you do. The shot doctor.
Okay. But he is the best in the business. And because there was a work stoppage that year, before and after, it was plenty of time for him to have his shot, as Danny Green said, completely rebuilt. Then here came Tim Duncan, Manu, and Tony Parker, and they slowly but surely brought him out of that shell that he lived in. They taught him how to win, how to be more confident in his shot, and they encouraged him to become, what did Danny call him? A one-on-one offensive guy. Aha, he was. They did all that. Then how did he repay them for all that they did for him? How lucky was he to get drafted by the Spurs with that shot doctor coach and those 3 future Hall of Famers? Extremely lucky. And he and his uncle repaid them by quitting on them that year, that last year, because he had nothing more than a thigh bruise. He completely exaggerated that injury because his uncle took over all of his business and professional affairs and wanted him out of San Antonio. So he quit his way out of town. So again, 2 years ago, I was his biggest fan. On this show, I said many times to you in the playoffs 2 years ago that he was the guy. He's playing at a higher level than LeBron James is. I loved that guy. I used to call him Kawhi Leonard. I don't call him that anymore because I'm happy if you want to root for him. I'm happy if anyone out there watching right now wants to root for him. But I'm not going to root for him, and any self-respecting Spurs fan should not be rooting for him to be coronated tonight. Thank you, Danny Green, for putting it in perspective.
Skip, but here's the thing. Basketball, more so than football, is that they draft on potential. And when they took him, obviously they saw potential, because if they had known this, they might have would have taken him with the #1 overall pick. But Skip, you said something now. He got drafted in the lockout year. Am I correct? Mm-hmm. So he only got 7 days to work with the guru shot doctor that you told me to tell everyone about.
It was intensive.
So what he did, he went home and worked endlessly, tirelessly, on his own to get better. Now, what we saw from him is that before the seasons before he won the Finals MVP, he averaged less than 10 shots per game. You tell me the offensive player, you tell me the guy that we think of as a great player that shot the ball less than 10 times a game. Now, as these guys started to age, more was asked, more was demanded, and he was willing to take that role. Where I'm going to push back on you, you talk about, well, they did this, they did that. What did Kawhi do? I don't care how much someone asks of you. If you don't have it in you to do it, it can't get done. So clearly, this man has something deep inside of him. Skip, now, he said in the article earlier, he never envisioned himself being a player where the offense is going to run through him and they're going to run plays for him. So instead of shooting less than 10 shots a game, what we're starting to see, he's somewhere around 19 to 22 shots a game. Well, yes, we'll see a lot of times when someone views you as all they view you as of this, they never see you as anything else other than that. So
time out.
Oh, he's just a defense. Go ahead.
3 years ago against your man LeBron James on a big Saturday night national TV game, he scored 41 points. And the other day he said, I was in a box in San Antonio. In a box? What are you talking about?
You take one, Skip. You take a guy says something one time,
41
and then you
points
take
in
it
a
and
box?
use it against the
That's some box.
Skip, why do you take one thing and use it for the rest of your life?
Because it's the truth.
Well,
It is
Kawhi
not
is the
true.
leader for the postseason in points and boards. And that leads us to the question, will the Raptors end the series tonight? We're going to make some picks. Up